Yeah, you go.
AI moves fast, and artists have no time to keep up. The job market is tough enough right now, with fewer residencies and grants. Chatgpt Images 2.0 is out now, and you need to know if it's hype and what it means for the field of art and the future of AI. Give me 3 minutes of your time. I'm an AI researcher fighting for human art, and I'll fill you in on what matters for you, the artist. And I'll also tell you the two flaws that this model still has when compared with you. So, ChatGPT Images 2.0 is nothing new. It is a continuation of a trend that has taken over AI a year and a half ago. You know how big these systems are, right? How large, slow, and costly these AI systems are. Well, a year and a half ago, AI companies realized that scaling these models further was yielding diminishing results. It was no longer worth making these models bigger. But they weren't going to give up on making them, so they found another way. The idea is pretty simple. Thanks to AI research, they made the models smaller, less costly, more efficient while keeping the same performance levels. This means that they can now run the model for longer before giving the final output. And I said a year ago that this trend would come to impact AI images too. I called it. Think about it. When AI images came about 4 years ago, we artists took pride in our ability to think about our creation, to go through a process, gather references, design the composition, the little details and the story behind everything. AI, we argued, generates everything at once. So it's kind of a mindless generation. It doesn't really suit the requirements of the job. Sadly enough, already this has led to a situation in which many artists in their jobs have AI create the first draft, and then the artist only is tasked with ironing out the first draft created by AI. This is called the janitor problem. But now you have this new model, and what can it actually do? Well, it takes in your request, thinks about it, goes online to gather information about composition, the history of what you're asking about, references for styles and objects. And with all this, it produces a first output. Then, and this is crucial, it looks at this first output and analyzes it. It looks for flaws and opportunities for further improvements. And then again, it looks for information and references online and produces a second output. And it keeps going until it's happy with the result. And then at the end, it gives it to you or to your boss. Now, beyond the hype, I tried this model out. Knowing what it actually takes to perform one's job as an artist, I've yet to be impressed. There are two flaws of this model still. First flaw is the most obvious one, is that the outputs are kind of plastic and superficial. And this has always been the case with the OpenAI models. Midjourney does much better at this, but OpenAI doesn't seem to care. And the second flaw is actually more important, which is that these models suffer from the same problem that the text AI models suffer from, which is that they don't really have access to the entire internet. And so sometimes you ask them something that they can't actually access the info, and so they'll make something up. And there's something crucial for you to understand, because you, the artist, might think that this is just an isolated model, and that therefore, because it's not impressive, you are safe. But the field of AI is no longer about isolated models. A trend here has been started by OpenAI. A mechanism has started which will lead to further improvements of AI systems in this same direction. So be very careful when you stake your artistic worth on your ability to think things through and make the art make sense, because this is the next target for AI companies. If you liked this video, subscribe to join